Welcome to Inside Outlook. I'm Jeff Haver, Superintendent of Pemberton Township Schools. Today we're going to be talking about appropriate student behavior on our school buses. Safety is our primary concern as we transport nearly 4,500 students throughout a 26 square mile township. And while our bus drivers go through training and attend professional development sessions, our goal is to make sure our students are also educated and prepared to make safety a priority on our school buses. With me today to explain a program recently completed at Denbo Crichton Elementary School is Assistant Principal Donna Scarabaggio. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Mrs. Scarabaggio, you recently provided a program to help improve safe bus behavior at Denbo Crichton. Can you tell us why it's so important for our children to behave properly on the school buses?
So, safety is our primary concern, as you already mentioned earlier, and the bus drivers are carrying around our most precious cargo. So to ensure that our students are transported safely from home to school and then from school back to home is our #1 priority.
We have some video of you actually talking to students on a school bus. Why did you feel it was important to be on the bus as opposed to in the classroom?
So to be in the authentic environment, in this case a bus, helps the students to really understand the expectations in a very concrete manner, as opposed to having them have to kind of imagine abstractly or pretend what it would feel like. So being in that space where they can actually buckle up the seat belts, move over, slide into the closest to the window, make their way up and down the aisle, enter onto the bus, exit off the bus. All of those things really help the students to gain a real clear understanding of what it will look and sound and feel like to ride the bus safely.
Great. So you're talking about wearing our seatbelts, sliding over, how to get on the bus, get off the bus, walking down the aisle. Are there any other behaviors that you reviewed with our students?
We also reviewed the volume of the bus. We talked about how the bus, just by the sheer nature of it, the material makes it a loud environment. The number of students makes it a loud environment. So we talked about keeping our volumes at a 1 or a 2. We practiced what a 1 or 2 actually sounded like on the bus. And then we also talked about just recognizing and acknowledging, saying hello to the bus driver when you get on, saying goodbye to the bus driver when you get off. Helping a smaller student who needs help buckling their seatbelt, that the red goes with the red and the tan goes with the tan and the blue goes with the blue. So all of those kinds of things in that authentic environment really helps the students to concretely understand the expectations.
That's fantastic, right? To be on the bus, to be able to practice and have someone model. Now, you said something about the tan with the tan and the blue with the blue and the red with the red. Can you explain a little bit to me about what that is?
So there are, on 3-seater seats and on 2-seater seats, there are different color, either 2 different color or 3 different color seat belts, so that the students know which part to buckle into. Because they get all tangled up or they're sitting on top of the seat belts. So by having the color coordinated seat belts, again, that helps the students to understand which seat belt they're to use depending upon which spot they're sitting on the bus.
And probably makes things move more efficiently too, correct?
Absolutely.
Denbo Crichton has implemented this specific program, and all our other elementary schools and middle school have worked on teaching the importance of proper behavior on the bus. Posters, as shown on our screen, have been hung in classrooms to demonstrate proper behavior, and teachers review the behaviors to emphasize their importance. We also need parents to join us reminding your child to practice safe behavior on school buses and talk to them about the consequences of their actions. Mrs. Scarabaggio, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
So one of the things that I think is important to mention is that when we were teaching to expectations, our Dean of Students and myself taught very specifically and systematically as to what it will look, sound, and feel like. And we did so using something called a perfect model, an imperfect model, and an almost but not quite model. And all 3 of those, the perfect model was shown to the students by myself, as well as explanations to, and information from them, right, so that they have the understanding and buy-in. So that perfect model was shown so that they saw exactly what should occur on the bus. We then modeled for them imperfect, which are the things that will never happen on a bus, that are dangerous to engage in while on a bus. The students will only practice the perfect model, but we showed them what an imperfect model looks like so that they could have some point of reference. And then lastly, we then modeled very specifically almost but not quite. And what that does is it covers that large amount of gray area that's in between the perfect and an imperfect model. And this is where boundaries get tested. This is where questions and confusion arises. So if it's not perfect and it's not imperfect, what does that almost but not quite look like? And that again was modeled for them. And what that really does is it really helps to provide clarity for the students and helps them to discriminate between what it should look, sound, and feel like.
Right, because the almost perfect, a lot of times we think, well, this is good enough.
Correct.
Right? And the
Correct.
goal when it comes to safety and how we respect each other is always to shoot for perfection.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Mrs. Scarabaggio.
Thank you for having me.
A few reminders before I go. There will be no school for students this Friday, October 7th, due to Staff in-Service Day. Schools will also be closed on Monday, October 10th, for Columbus Day. The October Board of Education meetings will be held Thursday, October 20th for the work session, and Thursday, October 27th for the action meeting. Both meetings will take place in the Pemberton Township High School Auditorium at 6:30 p.m. Please continue to check your email for any important updates and information regarding school events or procedures. Thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Inside Outlook.